Today, I would like to share with you one sutta from Majjhima Nikaya 20. We call Vitakka Santana Sutta, the remover of distracting thoughts. Buddha say from time to time when we cultivating concentration meditation, right? Or even in our daily life, certain unwholesome thoughts connected with desire, connected with hatred, connected with ignorance will arrive and obsess the mind. And the mind become concentrated and become very agitated. I don't know what to do. So Buddha say at that moment there are 5 ways to overcome these distracting thoughts. Number 1, Buddha say, one should replace this unwholesome thought with opposite state of the mind connected with wholesomeness. For example, the greed. The greed arises in a person's mind, let's say desire for opposite sex, or desire for beautiful woman or men. So when this type of mind arises in the mind and you cannot get away of it, then try to see the opposite of the beauty. That is, because it's the beauty that triggers the lust, right? Ugliness cannot trigger the lust. So you try to apply the ugliness of that object, whether it's man or woman. So in Buddha's teaching, there are 2 ways to overcome lust. One is through 32 parts of the body, right? So but to learn this method, we have to learn by heart all the 32 parts first, like head, hair, body hair, nail, teeth, skin, and all the organs, and all the fluid, all the water in our body, like tears, sweat, saliva, phlegm, urine. So we contemplate each one by one as repulsiveness. This 32 parts in the body, when they are inside the body, it doesn't look so repulsive. But if you take out one by one and put in front of you, let's say let's say your husband say, "Oh, your hair is very beautiful," then you pull out one hair and give to him. He may not like it. Or you put inside a porridge. You want my hair, I give to you. He may feel very disgusted, right? Same thing, if your husband says your teeth is very beautiful, you take out one teeth and give to him, he may feel, why so disgusted, right? So all these 32 parts, when put together, and we do not apply repulsiveness into this 32 parts, then it looks like very beautiful. But if you take it out one by one and analyze it, you feel it's very repulsive. So if we can apply this 32 parts into any beautiful man or woman which trigger our lust, then we can remove this distracting thought connected with lust or desire. Okay, this one way. Another way is skeleton meditation. Skeleton meditation is first we visualize one's repulsive skeleton, right? And try to see its ugliness of skeleton. And always keep this in mind. So whenever you walk, sit, lying down, you keep the skeleton, repulsiveness of skeleton again and again. So whenever the lust arises towards opposite sex, then you project out this skeleton onto this man and woman which you love. And you don't see him as a person, but you only see skeleton. In this way, you can overcome the lust. I remember many years ago, there's one deputy minister was introduced to me through my friend who was a datuk. So this deputy minister told me that because he was a Buddhist, he told me that whenever he went to barber shop, so many barber. So so many beautiful women. All these hairdressers are, young women, and they are so beautiful, and they are wearing very short skirt. So this deputy minister told me that whenever he went to this barber shop, her mind was overwhelmed with lust because of the eye contact, right? All the attractive object contact to his eyes, so trigger his lust. So he told me that every time he chanted Amitabha, 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 in order to get it off his sensual desire, but it didn't work. So he asked me, what should I do? Then I think if I introduce him 32 parts, and it takes time to explain one by one. So the best way is to introduce him skeleton meditation. Therefore, I teach him how to meditate on skeleton. And after that, we departed. And I thought that he was a deputed minister. Is a busy man. How can he apply my method? But it's my duty to teach him. But whether he apply or not apply, I doubt it. I doubt about it. However, 2 years later, we met again because of my datuk, my friend. Then we met again. And he told me that, he said, Shifu, the method you taught me is so effective. Now, every time I went to barber shop, when I see all this hairdresser, I project this skeleton onto them. So when I see, I don't see any woman, beautiful woman. I only see skeleton walking here and there. So after that, I have no more lust. So I have no more problem. I have no more stress mind while going to barber shop. This was his real experience he shared with me. Okay? So this is called using the opposite mind to overcome the arising, distracting thought connected with desire. How about if the distracting thought is connected with anger? So everybody knows it's true. Opposite mind is true. Metta, loving kindness, right? But I personally feel that using metta is not so effective. Through my teaching experience, it's not so effective for many people. Because if you not yet master your mind, you find very difficult to send metta towards somebody you are angry with. Especially those who have harmed you before, who have abused you before. So whenever you think of him, you get angry. How to have metta to this type of person, right? So for beginners, I think, and for those who have not yet mastered their mind, I don't think metta will work for them. So I highly recommend compassion meditation. Karuna, compassion meditation. How should we think? We think at this person because he is full of ignorance. According to dependent origination, and avijja paccaya sankhara, dependent on ignorance, karmic formation. Because of ignorance, he has done such wrong deed to me. So, and we all know, each karma, each unwholesome deed pave his way to unwholesome result. So when this karma ripen, he got to reap his bad consequences, right? So you think this way, so you arouse a compassion for him. So when all these bad consequences arise, he got to suffer accordingly. Then you try to have compassion for him and think of his ignorance. Because of ignorance, he performed a bad action. So if you think in that way, you easily can forgive him. And you easily can let go of that anger. So I personally feel that compassion is much more effective compared with loving kindness meditation. Okay? So then if the thoughts connected with ignorance that arise, that disturb the mind very much, Buddha say, we can overcome that ignorance through first asking the teacher, asking the question to clarify all the doubts, right? Or discussion, or find out the answer through Buddha's teaching. So if you can apply all this method, then you can get rid of that ignorance. Once the mind become clear, wisdom arise, then all this ignorance can be removed. Okay. So, however, Buddha said, if by applying this opposite state of the mind connected with wholesomeness still fail in one. And the great anger, delusion still arise. Buddha say, the second method, Buddha say, you should reflect the danger of it, the danger of all these unwholesome thoughts. So in Majjhima Nikaya Sutta 19, Buddha said, while I was a bodhisattva, so when I was practicing meditation, these undesirable thoughts also arise in me. Then how I get away of it? I think of the danger of this unwholesome thought. I think this greed that arises in me will cause affliction in me, will cause harm in me, will cause suffering in me. So the moment, Bodhisattva say, the moment I think of this unwholesome thought subside, or I think this undesirable thought or unwholesome thoughts that arise will cause affliction on others. Maybe I may harm other people. So it will cause affliction on others. So when I think in this way, the unwholesome thought subside. Or he think this unwholesome thought cause affliction or suffering on both sides, me and the other party. And when I think in this way, unwholesome thought subside. However, because he was bodhisattva, right? So the moment he think that this thought is dangerous, so it quickly subside. But for ordinary person, if the moment he think it's dangerous, it subside, then it's very easy. The path become very easy already, right? Therefore, we have to think again and again the danger of it. I would like to quote one story from Dhammapada. There was 500 female deities while enjoying sensual pleasures in the heaven. So sensual pleasures is connected with desire, connected with greed, right? So while enjoying sensual pleasures, suddenly their lifespan expired. And their last moment of their thoughts are connected with desire. So all of these 500 female deva all fell into hell. So we remember this story, right? So if I have, how should we reflect the danger of the thoughts? So if I have these unwholesome thoughts connected with greed, anger, and desire, and ignorance, so if at this moment I die, I may like the Devi born in the hell. So we think in that way, to abstain us from indulging in unwholesome thought, or to arouse the effort to quickly do away of it. So that's called the danger. And another story I want to tell the danger of this unwholesome thought is this story shared with me by one English nun, my fellow practitioner, but she was English. She was nun. One day she told me her past life story. She told me that past life she was a deva, man deity. So the deva got one female. The deva fell in love with one female deva. But after some time, this female deva loved another deva, more powerful deva. Just like human being, right? And this male deva, my friend, was very, very angry, and a lot of jealousy, anger over what was happening. And at that moment, while he was very angry, her lifespan was cut off immediately, because the deva body cannot stand so much anger. The deva body is more subtle compared with human body. So suddenly, his lifespan was cut off, and he died because of the anger. And she told me, when she was a nun, she told me that immediately I found myself reborn in a very dark area. And she told me that she was reborn in as Peta, hungry ghost. This is a real story she shared with me. So these two stories, you think of it. So it can inspire us to quickly get away unwholesome thought No? Not to let unwholesome thought not to arise is not possible because we are not arahant, right? But when they arise, we don't indulge in it until we make further karma. So all this, so we think about the danger of it. Okay, and Buddha said that if this still fails, because the obsessive defilement are so active, so strong, the third way is to avoid such thought. Or say, forget about such thought. Don't pay attention to it. So, for example, whenever you think about an enemy, you get very angry. Then don't think about your own enemy. Think about something else. Reading a book, or how to call, talking to people, or writing something. Just forget about it. Don't pay attention to it. Just like when you set up for a journey, on the way you meet with a rock, then the rock block your way. How should you do? For unwise person, they will kick the rock, right? But a wise person, just avoid the rock. Go another way around. Go another way. Go around the rock and pass. Same thing. So when this distracting thought block your spiritual path, don't pay attention to it. Just that you don't pay attention to the rock. Don't kick the rock. Don't keep on entertaining the unwholesome thoughts that cause more suffering in you, right? So this is the third way. Forget it. Don't pay attention to it. And if this still fails, Buddha say the fourth way is try to find out the cause, the conditions for the arising of these unwholesome thoughts. Okay, I'll give an example. There are many years ago, while I was in China, one of the students reported to me. She told me that, sister, Sifu, I feel very sad whenever I think of my departed mother. I miss her so much. Then I asked, first I thought her mother just passed away. That's why the sorrow is still there. Then I asked, how long your mom has passed away? She told me 20 years. I was so shocked. Why she has to suffer for 20 years, just missing her departed mother? Then I told her, do you see the cause of your suffering, of your sorrow? Did you see the cause of your sorrow? She said, no. Let me tell you, attachment. Attachment is the cause of your suffering for 20 years, right? So try to tackle your attachment. Don't tackle the sorrow. Tackle the cause. Try to keep on the fault of attachment, the danger of attachment, the suffering of attachment. If you can get rid of your attachment to your mom, then your sorrow will go away. This is what Buddha meant. Try to investigate the cause of the suffering. That's why when Visakha, the foremost in generosity, Buddha's supporter, one day she lost her granddaughter, and she was weeping and wearing all the white and wet the clothing and went to monastery and see the Buddha. When Buddha saw her behave like that, she knows something happened already. Then she told Buddha, her beloved granddaughter died. Then Buddha told her, do you see the grief come from attachment? Do you see the attachment? Because of attachment comes sorrow. So Buddha teach her the Dhamma. And Buddha tried to tell her all this suffering come from a cause. You should see the cause. Let go of the cause, which is attachment. Okay? So this is the fourth way. Try to see the cause of your suffering. Try to see the cause of the obsessive thoughts and so on. Okay. And the last, if this still cannot do away the defilements, or do away any distracting thoughts, the fifth way I want to recommend you, not from Buddha's talk, from my teaching. Okay. So the fifth way is try to apply the Satipatthana Suttas, contemplating your mind, or contemplating your feeling. Under Satipatthana Sutta, there are 4 ways. Contemplating on body, on feeling, on thoughts, and on Dhamma. So whatever distracting thoughts arise, they say anger. Try to arouse your mindfulness. Because Satipatthana is talk about what? Satipatthana Sutta, foundation of mindfulness, talk about first mindfulness, second wisdom. So first arouse your mindfulness to know this, let's say anger has arisen in me, or sorrow has arisen in me, or unhappiness has arisen in me. So try to be mindful of it. Once you're mindful of it, then second apply, we call yoniso manasikara, wise attention. Try to contemplate this sorrow state of the mind or anger state of the mind as the effect of certain cause. It's not myself. Since you already investigated the effect already, the cause, the condition for it already. So you try to see, oh, this is the effect of certain cause. It's the effect of certain cause. Then the cause also impermanent, right? How can the effect be permanent? So it's just a cause and effect, just cause and effect, not myself. It doesn't belong to me. The anger doesn't belong to me. The sorrow doesn't belong to me. It's just a cause and effect relationship. If you can think in that way and you do not identify that state of the mind, whether it's connected with anger, delusion, or greed, if you do not identify that state of the mind as yourself and you do not grasp it very firmly as yourself, through this yoniso manasikara, wise attention, it will subside. This is the common teaching I share with my student, the last one. So I guess after you apply all this fifth method, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, the distracting thought will subside. And you win over your requirements. And you got confidence. You will not be afraid of these obsessive thoughts when they arise. Therefore, effort, mindfulness, wise attention, all this will help you to get through all the difficulties. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.